you flavor.
That's why I'm wearing my business socks.
Business socks.
That's business. That's why they call business socks. Ooh.
All right, welcome. So we have various forms of alcohol, we have dice, we have character sheets, and we are ready to play. You'll be happy to know that I have your team's pool here. Right now, there's one. Was there a reason there should be more than one from our game last time?
I have a note that we have one in the team's pool right now, so that sounds accurate.
Perfect. That's where we're at. All right, before we get started, I just wanted to mention a new rule you have access to. You may want to use it, you may not. I think the context that you already have might be enough to get you through the few clues that you have. But I guess there are two new rules that I want to introduce to you. So the first one, we're going to call, we already talked about research. The first one we're going to call, oh, it's not there. I have to post it again. Okay, the first one we're going to call declare an obligation. And when you declare an obligation, it's more, a better name for it might be to declare contact. I stole it from another Powered by the Apocalypse game. And what is cool about it, I'll just read it to you. Once per mission, and for us, I mean, a mission can be like, you know, once you unravel this mystery about what's going on with the governor, that would be a mission kind of. Once per mission, you can name and describe someone you know who has a useful skill. So that gives the control of the story to you as the players. And you just say, I know so-and-so, right? In my capacity as a superhero, I happen to know, I don't know, what is the name of the lizard man secret identity, that doctor that Peter Parker always supposed to see?
Kurt Connors.
Kurt Connors, yeah. So I know Kurt Connors, Dr. Kurt Connors, and he can help me to solve this biology problem or whatever, right? So you would name the contact and describe it, and then say why the contact either owes you a favor or why you owe a favor to the contact. And then I would ask you some questions, and we'll kind of flesh out who it is. And then we just add the contact to your character sheet, somebody you know who can help you with this. But whenever you add something into the game, remember it's something that now in the game more things can happen to them. So for example, we basically did this last session when the monstrosity went out and he went to get in touch with his fixer contact. And what happened? Well, the fixer had a relationship with this adversary, that's the shadowy adversary that you're pursuing, that was coercive, shall we say, where he was wearing an explosive, and that didn't end very well for him, right? So,
yeah, coercive. Dare I say, top half explodey kind of coercive.
Yeah, right.
Well put.
We wouldn't say they were friends. And business relations might be a little bit strong of a term too. So there's something funny going on there, like strange going on there that you haven't unraveled just yet at this point. And that's the fun thing about this game, because like I don't really know what the story is yet either. We're just going to play to see what happens. So totally. Some vague ideas, but nothing is canon until it happens in game. So. Let me dig up the other move here real quick. I'll post it for you and I'll read it out loud to you. The basic moves. Hit the street. So I'm going to post this in your basic moves as well as a comment. And it says style. What would probably be the best thing to match with style? Can you read your stats out to me? There's like danger and whatnot. What are they? What are the 6 of them?
I've got danger, freak, savior, superior, and mundane.
Okay, so it might just be a mundane skill, which I mean makes mundane pretty powerful in our game. But
it's kind of a thing of the detective noir
Yeah, and
kind of thing.
I guess
right?
that would make sense, and that would further kind of separate your roles in the game, because all of a sudden you might know somebody in Monstrosity, but it'd be somebody who's afraid of you, right? And their relationship with you would be colored by that. And hitting the street, depending on how well you roll, different things will happen. So I'm going to post it right now, and I'll read it to you. You can look on the file as I'm reading it. Okay, so hit the street. When you go to a contact for help, including finding a specialist, street doctor, it says cyberware because it's from a cyberpunk game that I stole it from, but just think new equipment, right? Buying gear, fencing items. Again, if you're not stealing anything, you don't need to fence things, but you're looking like pursuing clues, like this is what we're talking about. Roll plus mediocre, mundane. On a 10 plus, choose 3. On a 7 to 9, choose 2. So your options are, they have what you want immediately. That's one possibility. You get a little something extra. Okay, so you get a little bit of information or a piece of gear. That's extra. It doesn't attract unexpected attention, complications, or consequences. If you don't choose that one, then I'm free to say that it does, right? The price is fair. So this is probably going to cost you in one way or another, either as like reputation or actual dinero. And then the last one, you can pay them later, so you don't have to pay them right now. Okay, so yeah, so that's hit the street, and it just makes like pursuing these clues that your characters already have, it kind of makes it a little bit more interesting and part of the game. Does that sound pretty good to you guys?
Absolutely.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. So now you have a move to hit the street. Another thing that's on there, but it hasn't really come up, as part of directly engage a threat, I added 2 options to the ones you can choose from. One of them is stun and one of them is slam. To make those happen, though, you have to be in a position where you can stun or slam your opponent. So if Spider-Man goes up to Galactus, for example, and punches Galactus, he's not going to be able to stun or slam Galactus. He's probably going to stun or slam his fist. A stun is you like the other character gets disoriented. Slam is a classic like big bruiser move where you like punch somebody and they go through like 3 walls, and then or I love it when you draw it like they're going through the panels, right? So that's the kind of thing that it is. And like if you're trying to get a villain out of a particular situation, choosing one of those options might be good for you. So I figured that'd be kind of a fun comic book kind of thing too.
Sick.
Alrighty. So any questions about those?
Maybe later when we try to use them, but
Fair enough.
I think it seems to me that they are sort of 2 moves to the same end. Like they seem very, very connected to me. Like one was very regular.
And the one move is not even a roll, right? It's just something you as a player can do. It's just like, I know this person. Right?
I know this person. Yeah, okay.
You wouldn't have that kind of authority in the Masks game. I'm giving you permission as players, because I think it would add something to our game. And like in your backstories, you've already created these really cool relationships. Like I said, for this one, you might not need to create a new character because you probably have the tools to pursue a couple of these clues that you already have. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Sounds good.
Okay. For my part, for my prep, I'm pretty excited. And
I've got a crying child that I need to attend to for a quick moment.
What's that?
I've got a crying child that I need to attend to briefly here.
Sure.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, do you get things like that? Joseph doesn't actually need to know this. But yeah, I went and I went through the things in your characters' lives that kind of are important to you, and they all have like things that will happen to them if they were left completely unattended, right? So I figured one fair one for you would be Crime Alley. So that's a thing. Another one for you is, where is it? Your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Right. So she's a character in the game, and things will happen with her.
Yeah.
Whether you're involved or not. So, but again, I don't touch them unless there's a reason to mechanically in the game. Unless there's some reason that I need to make a move. She's great. She loves it when you go off at night. And oh no, actually, she already said that she doesn't.
Yep. Yeah.
She doesn't love it, but she tolerates it. All right, so let's do a quick refresher then while we're waiting for Joe, and then we'll pick up as soon as he gets back. When we last left our heroes, I recall you had a meeting in Crime Alley, and you it was to exchange this little bauble that you had kind of found, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met up with Vixen in Crime Alley, and I gave her the device and also the wallet off of Barry, my former fixer.
Yeah. Let's see what information. Great.
Yeah.
And then she went off to her evening, during which she gathered another kind of sideways clue as to what might be going on there. And you, I believe, went home and had a little argument or a discussion with your wife.
Yeah, it was mostly her talking at me, and I arranged for her to get some flowers that I left with a penitent note.
Good. All right, so you managed to stave off the inevitable. That's great. Is that where we left off, or did something else happen between them?
Well, that was actually before. I went and got the thing off of Barry. Barry died. Then I went home and interacted with my wife.
Okay.
And then I arranged this meeting with Vixen in Crime Alley to hand off the stuff to her.
The last thing you did,
almost attacked by the blade pimp, whose hand I later broke, and that's where I left off.
Right. That was an awesome scene, by the way. It was a little dark, but I think it describes a piece of your character that was really insightful. So. All right. I see a crime. Hello, Esther.
This happened last time that we wanted to play a game too. She just wants to be involved.
Uh-huh. We'll teach you how to roll dice.
Yeah.
Roll well, otherwise your dad will be mad.
And maybe dead.
Maybe dead. Death is pretty hard to come by in this game, actually. You're not likely to die, but there are definitely things worse than death. And on that note, when we last left our heroes, we just kind of did a little recap here, Joe. The monstrosity had just broken the hand of a sleazebag from Crime Alley, and then kind of left him to holler. And what was your message to him? It was something like,
I told him that I didn't want to see him flashing blades at the ladies in this neighborhood ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So do we want to pick up there, or do you want to pick up like a day or two later?
What do you think, Joe? Where did Joe leave off, or Renee? I guess.
He just finished his date.
I finished the date. I got a little bit of intel on this place that was affected in one of the places that was essentially robbed, right? One of the warehouses with the tech, because this Wayne Gray from 50 Shades of Grey ended up.
Character's name from that book?
No, it's Christian Grey, but I went back over the character sheet and I was just like,
How many shades of Wayne are there?
Anyways, he spilled a little bit of beans because he's an occupational health and safety doctor that was contracted to help make that place a little safer. So that's something that I'm hoping to scope out right away.
Okay. Are you going to do it like that night after you come home from the date, or?
No, I don't think so. No, the date was too exhausting.
Yeah. These pleasantries that you have to exchange are just.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm so not a people person. Hi, are you gonna sit? Should we get you to eat something?
So let's pick up maybe the next day then. You probably had some work to do. Can you hear us, Joe?
Yeah, I can still hear.
So you probably had some work to do because you do have a job and a life and all that. When is it that you pick up the hunt again?
Probably the next evening, and I'm going to assume the Vixen again. So I'm gonna do a little bit of intel on this place during the day. Me and Martin are gonna try to find some like good routes in and out. Where are we looking for these little manifests, kind of stuff, so that can hopefully be a quick get in, get out when I actually make it into this.
If you talk to Martin about it earlier in the day, he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. You go to work, I'll have a look, and I'll tell you what I can find.
Yeah.
And he kind of rolls his wheelchair off.
Decent. Yeah, cool. So that would be my thing. I would go to work for the day, just like sort of daily duties, and then I would suit up to go scope this place out with whatever knowledge Martin is able to help contribute to the mission.
Okay, so Martin, we're going to treat him as a contact, even though he is linked to your character via backstory. He is not your character, so that's another reason I think this move is going to be pretty interesting. But you are rolling mundane, so this is kind of your wheelhouse. So why don't you roll mundane and tell us what you get?
I rolled a 3, but I get +3, so just 6.
Unless somebody's going to help you out to bump that up to a 7, that is a failure.
Is there a way I can help out to bump that up?
You have a team in your team pool. But you would have to explain how your character's actions in the story kind of have an impact on what's going on with this.
Well, I guess that would be up to Joe, because he's working off of information that he has that I don't think I do yet. So.
Well, think about it this way: like Martin is searching for information about the warehouse, right? Martin is probably not likely to go there physically, but maybe since you're in touch, that's something that your eyes on the scene can add to that.
If I remember correctly, they're still kind of in the midst of like repairing this place after like some pretty significant damage was done after this attempt. So it wouldn't be under operation at this point. So if Martin gets a hold of me sort of like late afternoon in the day or something like that. He's like, "Hey sis, I hate to tell you this, but I got nothing." Maybe I could be like,
So are you just choosing the failure, or are you going to look for a way to help? Because if it's a failure, then I make a move, right? So Jeffrey helps you in this situation, or I'm going to make a move.
I'm a little intrigued about what this move is going to look like.
Okay.
Esther, we didn't do very good on that first dice roll.
Yeah. Okay. So I totally know what's going to happen now. So Martin, he's like, he kind of pulls up in his wheelchair, and he lays out his laptop in front of you and cracks it open. He says, I mean, I could find schematics, I could find shipping manifests, I could find everything about this place. It's exactly what it seems to be. There's some kind of parts manufacturing facility, and they just make parts for cars. Much else I can give you. Yeah, find anything useful. Sorry.
No, that's okay. She's just helping with my character ideas, contributing what she can. Yeah.
So what do you do? He says, I mean, I'll keep an eye on the news, but that's what I can do for you right now.
Then I guess we're just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. And I might send a message over to Monstrosity saying this is what I've got. This is what I'm planning to do. Any interest in helping?
I message back. Sounds like a party.
And I just roll my eyes. It's decidedly not a party.
Parties are just such a waste of time, eh, Vixen?
And parties are like raucous and out of control, and that's not what we want. We just want this to be clean and quiet. Over. Okay, cool. So let's
for a few hours then.
Into the
you're gonna don your mask.
Yep. And I'm gonna be sort of just outside this place. Let's say I'm just surveying from a nearby window or something like that, from a building nearby.
Okay.
So
you kind of make your way down there. Do you like drive and then change, or do you parkour your way down there? Is it close enough to where you live?
Yeah, well, like I drive to like the neighborhood kind of thing. I just leave the car somewhere kind of inconspicuous, and then duck into an alley and mask up, and then go find like some kind of vantage point to assess the situation from, and see what a good entry point is going to be.
Great. Are you straight up creeping a location?
Yeah, I guess. I suppose I am. Scope out a person or place. Roll plus mundane. So these questions don't particularly. Oh yeah, what's my best way in?
Like, what is my best in? What happened here recently? What here? Well, here's worth grabbing. Maybe not so much, but there's a few questions here that you can
But those are questions I can save as well, right?
Yeah, while you're investigating, you bet.
Cool. Yeah, so let's kind of roll straight up creeping. What's my best way in? I got a 9.
That's good. So you get to ask one question.
What's my best way in?
Okay. Most warehouse facilities, they in particular in this kind of, you're not in crime alley. This is like an industrial park kind of a situation, and most of them have some pretty low level security. There's like chain link fences, maybe with some barbed wire on top. They're all intended to keep ground level people out. Right? So in some situations, your best way in, there's a few ways you could get in. One is by vaulting over these fences and whatnot. There are a few weak points. For example, the back of the building, it just backs straight onto the alley, and so there's no chain link fence, and there's like an AC unit, and you could kind of like plot your way up to the roof, and that would be an easy way in. Or you could go straight over one of the fences and try to make your way through the front door. Probably your best option is to go around the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sneak around the back, but if the roof is the best option, great. But I'm gonna see if there's like an upper window or something like that I can get into here as well, because I feel like
you bet. And there is totally, like I mentioned, there's an AC unit that kind of gives you a vaulting point. And not far from there, there's a ledge to a window that is actually, you see, it's cracked open. It'd be a squeeze, and you don't know what's on the other side, but it'd be a way in.
Let's go for it.
All right, so yeah, you describe how you managed to get in here, because this is your wheelhouse, right?
Sorry?
Describe how you get in. Tell us what your character does in this situation, because it's fun. You want to, yeah. We're going to say that getting into this building without being detected will be a challenge.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm just sort of, it's pretty late, so I don't anticipate too much traffic. I look both ways before crossing the street, and then sort of duck in behind some mailboxes into this back alley, scoping out for like some security cameras. And
now, when you say duck in, are you like, and I'm teasing this out because I think your character is awesome. Are you like running, sculpting, or are you like combat rolling, like cartwheeling and like hand springing? What does it look like? What is your style?
If this were an animated cartoon, I'd be actually jumping over car rooftops.
Yeah.
Sort of get, late night garbage patrol. They're coming in. I just like jump onto this garbage truck and then sort of combat roll off into the back alley.
Okay. Would you say that you're using your training to focus on this challenge of entering the building?
Yes.
Roll plus mundane, please.
Okay, sweet. Oh my gosh, I got a 6 again.
Unless the monstrosity, unless you want to declare that you're doing something to help her, then something's gonna happen.
Okay, so like, what's she attempting to do that she just rolled bad for?
Trying to enter the building without being detected.
Go.
Yeah, you thirsty? What's going on? There you go.
How would she be failing? so I can know how I can help.
I don't want to tell you that. You can help by. I don't know. Like, what could Monstrosity do? There may be distract. There may be something. He points out to her.
So she can slip in unnoticed.
Sorry, what do you do?
He can be a distraction so she can slip in unnoticed.
Sorry, I missed it again. I hear Esther.
He could be a distraction so Renee can slip in unnoticed.
Great. So describe what you do. So yeah, why don't you, Vixen? Why don't you tell us where things are going a little bit wrong? So I imagine you kind of like vault over this garbage truck. So we see like in the panel of the comic book, we see the headlights of the garbage truck, and we see it's like forks going into the garbage bin, and then from like a back view, we see like this little silhouette figure of yourself, just like hopping over. You're up against the building. Where does it start to go wrong?
So I jump onto the back of this garbage truck. As it starts lifting the garbage dumpster, I slip on some garbage slop on the top of the garbage truck, and I fall into the dumpster that is lifting up.
Oh, wow. So like it's high enough so that the driver can't see you yet, but you're actually in physical danger.
Maybe I'm like hanging off of the dumpster.
Okay. And so they will see you unless something distracts them. Okay. Monstrosity, that is where you step in.
I guess I see that happen, and would there be some kind of emergency stop on this garbage?
Absolutely, they're covered with them, aren't they, Joe? Usually, they're pretty accessible on the sides of any machinery where there's pinch points. There's going to be one up there, so yeah, you can do that.
Okay, then that is what I want to do. Okay. I guess I'm not really unleashing my power or anything.
Well, what are you trying to do? You're just going up there, you're hitting the button.
Yeah.
Are you trying to avoid being seen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so yeah, you would go up. Then I think you would be unleashing your power, because your powers are kind of this animalistic thing, and so you're using your kind of creature powers to sneak up without being detected. So why don't you give it a try?
Okay. Unleashing powers, roll plus freak. Here goes. 5 and 1 plus a freak of 3 is 9.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to do it. Let me just look at the basic moves here. Yeah, and so as soon as you hit that, you hear the driver's swampers start swearing, like, what the F is going on here? And he starts looking around for you, and you hear him reaching for the door, and he's coming out. What do you each do? Let's start with Vixen. You're hanging from the dumpster. The driver is looking away from where you're being lifted right now. Oh, I can't see that. I'm not looking at the screen. Are you there, Joe?
Yes.
What do you do?
Sorry, I just got off the phone. So I'm hanging off the edge of the dumpster. What happened with Monstrosity?
He just he kind of rolled. You might not have even seen him because he was pretty sneaky about it. But something stopped the arms from rising, and you have just a brief moment where the driver and the swamper are distracted.
Okay. I'm gonna swing. What else is along the edge of this building? Like, am I close to that AC unit?
Yep. You could probably make
okay.
it.
I'm just gonna swing onto the air conditioning unit, and I'm gonna do a straight. What's the straight up creeping thing where I try to make less noise than I should?
That is in fact parkour. So we just dealt with that, and you've dealt with the consequence. So yeah, you could declare that you're kind of getting back your momentum. One thing I am going to say though, before you can do that, is you hear some shuffling and some clicking inside the building from the partly open window.
Okay. And that's the window that this AC unit is on?
That's close. It's close by, yeah. So like it's probably like a 3 foot up there. So if you were to use your momentum, swing from the thing and kind of use your momentum to land on the AC unit and propel yourself up, you could roll. The parkour move again, except that the reason I'm letting you is because now all of a sudden you have a little bit more information. There's something going on inside. You hear this like clicking and shuffling sound inside.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna use the parkour move to get onto the AC unit, but try to keep up some momentum to get to that ledge and just sort of get a nose over that window ledge.
Let's try this again. Your mundane is your best skill, and you've been rolling terribly. So roll well this time because we want to show you off.
Screw this book that I'm rolling on. That's not happy anymore. Okay, I rolled a 9.
Okay, so I think you get one flow then. So you can pick one of these things. I think you have to get inside. You have to choose bypassing that obstacle because that's what you're trying to do. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, and you do make a little bit of a noise, but because of like the driver and the swamper are occupied, they don't notice. Monstrosity, what do you do? So you see that you've bought enough time, and it's amazing the grace that she kind of recovers from this situation. Kind of does this like flip and handspring, and she grabs herself onto the AC unit, vaults like with her arms up, and her feet just barely touch the AC unit to redirect her momentum, and then she's onto the side of the window and she's pushing it open quietly and pulling herself through. What do you do?
I guess I want to follow her. I want to get into the building the same way.
Okay. You do not have any parkour skills, but you are a creepy lizard man, so roll plus freak to unleash your powers.
Lizard man. 4 and 6 plus 3 is 13.
Yeah, this is easy for you. Can you describe why?
I basically just jump up and grab hold of that AC unit myself.
Yeah, you follow her route up, but it's like with the silence of a night animal. You kind of slither your way up there, and you're right behind her. And Vixen, you turn around to kind of clear your exit there, and you see these two big yellow eyes staring at you in the dark.
Impressive. I heard something inside. I'm going to try to scope it out.
Okay. Are you trying to assess the situation? You heard something, so you want to gather some information?
I guess so, yeah.
So, I mean, you're in a the part that you entered is kind of like a back-end warehouse kind of a thing. It's not the full, it's very tall, like it goes the full height of the facility, but it doesn't cover the full floor space. So there's kind of an overhead door. It's open. What do you do to assess the situation?
So, hang on, let me make sure I have this right. So I'm entering from a window that is not ground level.
There are some boxes that you can kind of drop down on, and you find yourself both in there. The sound is not coming from this room. It's coming from beyond the overhead door that's open.
Overhead door, like a garage door kind of thing.
And in the book sound that would be over these panels would be scritch, 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 just like but there'd be like one up here, one down here, one down here. And just this is constant as you are kind of entering the facility.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll climb down these boxes, sort of bolt down these boxes. If there's anything to like swing off of, like some chains or some things like that, then I'm gonna just get to kind of to the edge of, creeping along the edge of the wall to get to this barn door, and then sort of peek again, put a nose past the edge of the wall.
And so you're just kind of descending and you're poking your head around.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll plus superior to assess what's happening.
Oh my dear goodness. Esther, we can hang out while we're doing
You try to let her roll the dice, Dan. Except she probably wouldn't like go. What did you roll?
4.
4, including your bonus for superior, or do you have one?
That's including.
Oh, buddy, that's bad.
Yep. Vixen's really sharting the bed tonight.
Okay, so as you poke your head around the corner, and you see probably about a dozen little insectoid drones that are scuttling all around something that's covered with a tarp. They crawl underneath it, then they crawl on top of it, and they're like just all over this particular area. The area is close to the damaged section, which through there's actually like a hole in the side of the wall from the previous incursion where the theft was made, and you can actually see the street lights through this hole in the side. The tarp is kind of lying over top of something that is nearby to this hole, and there's this scurrying and scuttling. You see a few little red dots and eyes as these things are scurrying around, and then as if on a cue of some kind, these things immediately just cease and start scuttling out the opening of the has been left. Like, this is the opening that they're trying to repair from the theft earlier in the week. So yeah, these things are scuttling out through that opening. What do you do? Oh, actually, no, there's one more detail. You hear a beeping noise from somewhere in that area.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
Beep, 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 beep. Sorry, I can't hear you, Joe. I'm going to mute for a second.
So I've got Martin, Martin, can you figure anything out about what's going on in this room? And I'm gonna chase after those bots out of that hole. and use some parkour skills.
Okay. Well, you got. He is like, what? What? Sorry. Is he usually? Let's just declare this an mission. Is he prepared to go? Like, is he with you on mission?
Yeah.
Or you can. Okay. Now, the way I want it to work is we want to roll hit the street if you want to get information. But hit the. Let's see if hit the street would apply in this situation. Because it sounds like you might be rolling and assess the situation because you're trying to gather data, and you're just happening to use your brothers. But he's going to say, there's not much to do unless I can get some eyes on what's going on.
Is Monstrosity still with me? Like, if we established
you're like he was just behind you in the room. You haven't said anything to him, but he's with you.
Okay, gotcha. Is there like another good way that we could possibly like cut these drones off, or cut these little robots off, or try to flank them or something like that?
It sounds like you might be asking Monstrosity.
It's partly a layout of the building too.
Unless you're trying to assess the situation, like you had access to schematics, and you had access to like a floor plan and like the local area map kind of a thing. So you could roll and assess the situation again.
Okay, let's do that. And that's a plus superior?
That's right. You sure you don't want to let Esther roll?
Esther blowing the dice. Job.
There you go.
Holy crap.
You're kidding me. Okay, we're gonna stop asking you to roll dice because this is pretty terrible.
This is bad. Right. So I got a 5.
Ow.
I'm gonna try to put Esther to bed.
So yeah, Vixen turns to you and she's like, is there any way that we can cut off the drones? What do you think?
Cut off the drones, huh? So these are like surveillance drones, or okay.
just the game master.
Where is the beeping coming from?
From underneath the tarp that is beside the opening.
I would like to see what under the tarp smells like.
Okay. Roll to unleash your powers.
Unleash powers. Yeah, that's free. Cool. Uh, 3 and 2 plus 3 for freak is 8.
Okay, you get it. So you're trying to smell this thing. As you are sniffing, you recognize the pungent smell of plastic explosive, and suddenly the beeping quick intensifies. Beep, 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 beep.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I ain't no fool. I'm getting out of here.
Okay. And let's just say, like, you brush it, like your sense to extend your senses. You're kind of like getting close to this tarp. You brush it ever so slightly, and that's the second beep.
Yeah.
So, Vixen, I just had you turn to Monstrosity, ask him, like, how can we get past this? And he responded by going up to the tarp and kind of sniffing around. And I guess we'll find out what Jeffrey does when he gets back. But he kind of brushes against the tarp, and the beeping speeds up. Beep, 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 beep. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Oh, totally. All right, let's GTFO.
Okay. Describe what you do.
So just from what we know so far, what's the fastest way out? Would it be to go through the hole?
Wall where the robots. If you go out that way, you'll still have to navigate the fences that are around the perimeter. But if you need to rapid egress, you could either go back the way you came, or you could go out this way.
Let's go with the hole.
Okay. Are you using your training to do so?
Yes.
Okay. Please roll me some double box so we can get you.
And this is plus mundane, right? I got a 10.